Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a race of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide randomizer. My name's Edgeworth, and I'm joined here in commentary by Elastoid and K-Toys. How you both doing today?
Doing better a moment ago.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a race of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide randomizer. It's got a new version of the randomizer that we're happy to bring to NoReset and show off. It's got a lot of new features, and I'm joined in commentary by K-Toys and Elastoid. How you both doing tonight?
I'm doing so great, Edge. Absolutely the best. It's a great day to be running Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, and shout out to the community that I'm sure is tuned in to watch this. How you doing, K-Toys? And so glad that you were able to join us and help bring this to a broader audience. So runners are about ready to get started. So we're about to see them get started. So see javinat0r, Jones, Jefe, and Jexvrok. All of them experienced Final Fantasy VI World Collide runners, but definitely new to this seed, and this is going to be an interesting flag set. You have any expectations going into this, Edge?
Not at the moment, and it looks like we've got some interesting sprites going on today. I think that's Gilgamesh and a frog.
Right. Oh yeah, I have a confession to make. I made a mistake. We were supposed to be setting these sprites up. I'm sorry? Oh, crap. We didn't do it. I apologize. We should have done it. Oh, okay. So I made a mistake. We made two mistakes. One of them being starting them off without a timer. The other mistake was this sprite set was supposed to be submitted as an incentive, but unfortunately, it didn't get done in time. It was botched. That was on me. So the runners have agreed to run it anyway. So this is a set of sprites, mostly children. They have some pets in there because there weren't a whole lot of child sprites that we had available to us, but children and pets in honor of Les Petits Rois. And there were, that was initially going to be a $200 incentive, and they're giving it to you for free. So if you want to sort of like make up for my silliness, feel free to donate $200 right now. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, now. Okay.
It looks like most runners are doing the NARS check first, and all of these runners will be rewarded with an offering, which is pretty great to see. And it looks like Jex might be trying to get through the security system as well.
A security system in these flags, it's one of these new objectives that has been made possible, but with this new version. So this is set to give you the imp set. So Jex, I guess, figuring, like he wasn't sure exactly what his offensive plan is going to be. doesn't hurt to grab this imp set because it can be very powerful when you're jumping with it. It's also very strong defensively.
Donc effectivement, comme ils viennent de l'expliquer, donc Jexvrok vient de faire le nouveau check qu'on a rajouté pour pouvoir avoir un imp set. L'imp set permettra d'avoir des armes plutôt fortes si les personnages sont en imp, donc en kappa.
Yeah, so it looks like Javinat0r immediately go into Zone Eater. This is a check that most people do not enjoy. I tend to like it because I usually have easy time with the dudes on the bridge, but it can be real frustrating.
It's definitely a source of a little bit of randomness. It is good to knock it out in the beginning, though, because it is a free check in that you don't have to fight any enemies if you don't want to. And there are quite a lot of chests that you can open in there as well. So, good for the beginning, feels bad much later.
Absolutely. You know, early in the game when you still want chests, when you're still looking for equipment, that's when you want to do a check like this where you have a lot of chests, you know. A check like Sealed Gate or like Zone Eater or even Mount Zozo feels a lot worse later than it does early.
Voilà, effectivement, donc la zone de Zone Eater, on rentre dans le ventre d'un monstre pour aller trouver un check qui est gratuit. La grosse difficulté va être avec ces petits personnages verts qui vous poussent en bas du pont, et ben des fois la RNG fait que vous attendez quelques très longues secondes avant que ce personnage-là sur l'écran de wrjones passe tout à droite pour que vous puissiez aller sur la gauche.
Excellent. So I've commentated a few races with you, Edge, but I do have a question. What is this game that we're watching here?
You mean Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide?
Yeah.
So, it is a randomizer that, because of the latest changes, or the changes to the latest version, the goal is to defeat Kefka, but you can set up a number of different goals in order to reach that final challenge. So in case of this seed, our runners are going to have to fight either 15 bosses?
17.
The bosses aren't in this for the skip doesn't get you to Kefka. So in this case, they need to find 10 espers, 14 espers, 10 characters, or 6 dragons. I'm sorry, but they can choose 2. So like they can choose. They're going to choose whether to go for characters, espers, or dragons. Or which 2 of those they're going to go for, and which one they're going to skip.
Voilà, donc pour arriver jusqu'à Kefka qui est le boss final, les joueurs devront trouver 10 personnages, 14 espers et tuer 6 dragons. Sur ces 3 choix-là, ils peuvent en faire que 2 pour arriver donc pour pouvoir aller combattre Kefka et finir le jeu en premier dans ce randomizer.
So it looks like just a Magicite and Zone Eater. Definitely not what Javinat0r was looking for, or Jones, who followed. Meanwhile, Jex is playing with the names here. He's bought some rename cards and is doing something fun. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, he called Ram donates.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Don't forget to donate.
Yeah, please, absolutely donate. It's an excellent cause. Incidentally, I was going to ask Edge, is this rando? Is this anything like Beyond Chaos?
It's a lot closer to the vanilla rules than Beyond Chaos is. Beyond Chaos is it's very much a trip of a randomizer itself, but it will change significantly the rules of the game. And it's certainly fun to dig through that and figure out what was changed, what new powerful abilities, and how broken things are in a randomizer seed of Beyond Chaos. But no, this is more true to the vanilla game, just with some balance tweaks here and there, but nothing significantly changed.
Oui, donc en fait, sur le Worlds Collide, donc, que vous voyez actuellement, Randomizer, vous prenez le jeu Vanilla, vous mélangez tous les pouvoirs des personnages, vous mélangez tous les boss, vous pouvez également mélanger tous les dragons, et vous obtenez ce jeu. Après, simplement, donc, on voit qu'ils vont dans certains endroits spécifiques de la carte. C'est simplement que les checks, donc les coins à rechercher, sont libérés à partir du personnage que vous avez. C'est-à-dire que là, ils ont Relm, Cyan et Gogo. Donc, ils ont pu aller faire le check de Gogo, par exemple, parce qu'ils ont le personnage. Et en fait, ces checks se suivent par rapport au personnage que vous avez déjà et qui reviendrait par rapport à... Pardon, excusez-moi. Par rapport au jeu Vanilla. Donc c'est par rapport souvent aux endroits où vous avez trouvé ce personnage. Donc par exemple Relm, vous avez 2 checks qui sont les 2 endroits où vous la retrouvez dans le monde de la balance et dans le monde de ruine. Voilà. Thanks.
Please do. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's donating to cover for my error here. Right now we're in the early game, so everybody's doing a bunch of free checks and everything. We haven't really seen any combat yet. This is a seed where you don't have a whole lot early, so it looks like they're gonna see if they can find ways to get started. Oh, fair enough. So it sounds like the host wasn't audible to read the donations. So, Lyra, you can go ahead and read those again, please.
Sure, I can certainly do that. So, let's see.
Sorry.
Emma with 2180. Thank you, runners, for your generosity so we can see those cool sprites. And Pez Vang Jaj with $500 saying, how about a Tifa sprite next time?
Thank you very much for the $500 donation. I'll be sure to actually forward that request over to some of our talented creatives or people in the creative channel. They'll maybe... Actually, I think we already have a Tifa sprite, don't we? She's just not a child, except emotionally. So, looks like, is it Jefe is the one who's taken the first combats going into the Owser's Mansion. Definitely dangerous to take a bunch of free checks and then do combat. Oh, and he doesn't have any antidotes, so poison screen for a little bit.
Yeah, I understand this path. You have to take a couple of regular enemy fights when you're going through Owser's Mansion, so those are definitely going to be less scary than a boss fight after you've done a bunch of free checks. So I get it, but unfortunately Jefe running into a status affliction with no way to cure it.
Yeah, that could be a drag.
En effet, donc on voit que Jefe va dans un endroit où il y a des combats et les combats en fait sont gradués par rapport au nombre de checks que vous avez fait. Donc là ils ont 3 personnages et je crois qu'il a une magicite. Donc les niveaux des adversaires sont 2 fois le nombre de checks faits. Donc il a fait 4 checks. Donc les niveaux des personnages sont aux alentours du niveau 8. Ce qui fait que c'est un peu difficile au tout début des combats. Et ce qui est important à savoir, c'est que tout ce qui est expérience, argent et puis points de magie, parce qu'il y aura des points de magie aussi, ils ont été multipliés par 5, 4 et 3 si je ne m'abuse, pour accélérer le jeu, pour que le randomizer reste un jeu sympa à jouer. Et vous remarquez aussi qu'ils n'ont pas beaucoup de combats sur les chemins, parce qu'on donne à chaque joueur 3 Moogle Charms qui permettent d'éviter tous les combats aléatoires.
So, yeah, Jefe looks like the only one who's really jumping around right now. Did Jex run into a Doomgaze? Is that what that was?
Oh, that is not who you want to run into early. It looks like we've got some decent magic at the start. There is an Esper that teaches Pearl, and an Esper that teaches Fire 2, and an Elemental Shield with which you can get Ice 2 and Fire 2.
Yeah, and that looks like Jex jumping into Zone Eater. Meanwhile, yeah, like all these all these guys doing the same checks except Jefe, who's in Azur's mansion. Down Rexel.
Le bien du randomizer, on évite que Wrexel, donc le gros monsieur du milieu, sur l'écran de Jefe, puisse venir posséder votre corps, parce que de base dans le jeu vanille, il faut tuer vos propres personnages pour qu'ils ressortent pour essayer de lui taper dessus, ce qui est un peu compliqué en randomizer. Donc on a simplifié la chose, les développeurs ont simplifié la chose pour rendre le combat plus sympa.
Yeah, Realm has, it looks like with her natural magic, she has Meteor, which is useful, but obviously a slow way of killing Rexel. But, you know, the Jefe hasn't done so many checks yet, so Rexel with low enough HP that just one of the many reasons to be happy with Switzerland right now. I mean, there's lots of reasons, but the flag is a big plus. So it looks like Javinat0r found Super Balls. Super Balls with Go-Go, absolutely bonkers, because Go-Go can mimic a Super Ball. So, I mean, there's a chance element when you're using just 1 or 2 Super Balls, right? You're never really sure, but when you have Go-Go, you have as many Super Balls as you need. So he's able to... he actually told me what his strategy is for these. He does as many free checks as he can early, and then like makes the bosses as strong as possible, and then tries to kill some dragons to get sort of slingshotted through with the levels.
Yeah, and yeah, that is a patented Javinat0r strategy that worked out beautifully right now. So there's a lot of levels, a lot of new magic, a couple of good items as well. Oh, one good item.
Patented my derriere. It's adapted from an Elastoid strategy, I would say, but either way, it's definitely working out here. I wanted to say derriere because it's a French word.
Yes, you're right. et donc Javinat0r, comme l'ont si bien expliqué, il a pris le maximum de checks gratuits, ce qui fait que les levels ont vite augmenté et il est allé battre un dragon. Les dragons, il faut savoir que c'est les boss qui vous donnent le plus d'expérience et le plus de points de magie de tout le jeu quasiment. Donc là, il a pu remonter très très vite en niveau et il va aller voir un deuxième dragon sur son chemin maintenant.
So, Hefe taking down the Doma Castle boss, which was Funbaba. Probably going to be glad to get that out of the way earlier, because Funbaba obviously has a huge health pool the later the game goes. Definitely good to get that check out of the way when the fight doesn't take 2 or 3 minutes.
A Siren offering strength +2 would be very good on a melee character. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of offering, like they have an offering. If you can find an Atma weapon, which is quite often the case, a strength +2 on an Atma offering character can do a lot of damage.
Well, Dragon Fight for Javinator did not go well. Got clean swept.
Better now.
Beforehand.
Gotta heal up a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you can occasionally make the mistake of is just forgetting to heal. In Worlds Collide, your health total goes up very, very quickly. If you go 3 fights, even if you didn't take any damage, you still probably should heal.
En effet, et donc avant, Edge et Elastoid parlaient de l'offering. L'offering, c'est simplement une relique que vous pouvez mettre sur l'un de vos personnages qui lui permet d'attaquer 4 fois. Après, on a parlé de l'Esper Sirène qui donne à chaque niveau plus 2 en puissance, ce qui fait que le personnage qui est équipé de l'offering, il frappe 4 fois avec plus de puissance, et ça, c'est très bon pour lui. Ça fait partie des très bons objets à trouver dans le jeu.
So, Zone Seek with the speed +2 actually could be quite interesting if they choose, like Jex already grabbed the imp stuff, so he's probably thinking I can make a pretty good Dragoon with that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the Colosseum sometime soon and see if he can get that Dragon Horn, because speed on Dragoons is pretty strong. Jex finds a stray cat. That's pretty lucky if you find some with rage. Stray cats, of course, one of the best rages in the game. Attacks for 4 times damage, so definitely gonna be glad to see that. So Edge, if you're in this spot, you got you don't have like a whole lot in the way of abilities. I guess you've got Meteor. Is there something that you do specifically looking for offense here? Or what would your strategy be?
So I would probably be looking for something to pair with that early offering that I found in Narsh. Maybe hitting a couple of weapon shops. In a couple of other towns that also have chests. World of Ruin Albrook's pretty popular for that sort of thing. Maybe, I know, we might have had a World of Ruin South Figaro check as well that I missed.
Oh yeah, Thamasa as well. Looks like the frog is going to be turned into an imp on Cyan, on Jexvrok's side, so he's doing something similar there. But yeah, I'm in agreement in principle. Definitely looking for a weapon with that offering would be a good idea. Or just trying to find another character. It looks like Hefe found Strago in that was in Esper Mountain, so that could be an interest. And Strago has rage, so yeah. If assuming Jex goes the same route and goes to Esper Mountain at some point, he may be attacking with a Stray Cat Rage Strago.
Donc effectivement, Jexvrok a trouvé Stray Cat. Le Stray Cat, c'est l'un des monstres les plus utiles quand on a la rage. Et par chance, Jeff, lui, a trouvé Strago qui avait la rage. Donc, s'il arrive à trouver les mêmes rencontres que Jexvrok, il pourra avoir quelque chose de très puissant, surtout encore avec l'offering, à savoir que le Stray Cat a une attaque spéciale qui multiplie par 4 les dégâts.
So, Kato, I'm interested in your talk on this flag set. I know that I was going to ask you your thoughts on the seed, but I sent you the wrong one, so sorry about that. But what do you think of this flag set?
I like this flag set a lot, and especially the 17 levels more for the final fight. So it's really nice.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing to point out. Final Kefka will get a bit of a boost, an additional 17 levels. It may sound like a lot, but there isn't a huge difference between something at level 74 and something at level 91. So, I mean, I do expect that our runners are going to be able to get through fairly quickly as well. But does add a little bit to the risk factor if they go for the Final Kefka before they're prepared. You know, double calmness could actually cost you a race. Sorry.
Gee, I wonder if that happened to anyone that we know.
I forgot that was a recent thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just twist the knife harder, why don't you?
I didn't mean to. Yeah, you could be first in a 4-player race and then go drop all the way to third is what I meant to say. No, yeah, definitely a more difficult Kefka fight lies at the end of this. Though, you know, given the high requirements, there's a very good chance they're going to be at high level once they get there.
Oui, et puis donc, effectivement, Kefka au niveau 91 ou 91 est quand même très difficile à battre. Et même si vous arrivez sur Kefka en premier, ce n'est pas sûr que vous le finissiez en premier. Et il y a de fortes chances aussi que vous arriviez quasiment à la fin de Kefka et que vous mourriez. Oui, 91, effectivement. Ça, c'est du suisse, je suis désolé. Voilà l'accent.
Something I should mention in case the NPCs that disappear when the runners sort of run into them or bump into them or brush past them, there's a nice quality of life feature called wremove in this randomizer, which allows you to kind of delete any NPC characters that are getting in your way. It's certainly helpful, especially in narrow hallways and such, but you have to be careful because you can potentially soft lock your game that way too.
Yeah, I'm not expecting any of these runners to make that mistake. Wremove was a real game changer. It was initially brought in as sort of an April Fool's feature because our community, like the primary dev behind Worlds Collide, who was up until recently the only dev, Atma, was so awesome. He managed to create a feature as a joke just for April Fools. But what it would do is when you press Y facing an NPC, it would change them in some way. And one of them was remove, which it turns out also led to some sort of sequence breaks. So it's possible to, you may have noticed the characters, and anybody who's familiar with Worlds Collide might have noticed, hey, how did they get into the Narsh weapon shop without lock? Well, the lock to the door is actually an NPC that's blocking it. So if you hold Y, you can remove that NPC and get past. And the thing that made that most impressive is wremove just coincidentally allows you into Mount Zozo and into the Edgar checks that Jones is now checking, which allows you to get to the dragons. So it allows you to add dragons as an objective and not require specific characters to get there. So that was sort of cool.
Je vais essayer de résumer un peu parce qu'il a été long. Donc, en fait, ils ont rajouté une feature avec le Y qui permet de faire disparaître les PNJ. Et donc, ça permet aussi d'ouvrir certains passages qui devraient être fermés. Typiquement, comme il disait, l'armurerie à Narch, normalement, est fermée tant que vous n'avez pas lock. Et si vous appuyez sur le bouton Y, hop, magie, on ouvre la porte. Et on peut aussi faire disparaître plein de PNG. Parce que souvent, ils sont très embêtants. Surtout dans certaines parties, je pense qu'on les verra au fur et à mesure. Mais ce Y est top.
So Jones finding Goddess in the Edgar check. This could be a difficult fight depending on how well he's cut out for it. Pearl is not going to be useful for him as she absorbs it.
Oui, donc Goddess, par exemple, là, donc wrjones est contre Goddess. Elle fait partie des deux bases, des derniers boss du jeu, des 3 statues finales qu'on rencontre. Et malheureusement, son pouvoir Pearl ne lui fera pas grand-chose parce qu'elle absorbe Pearl et elle absorbe aussi Bolt, donc tout ce qui est électrique.
Javinator, meanwhile, looks like he's gonna find Mog in the Cyan's dream. Hefe's on Fry Talk. I was gonna ask, hey Lyra, is there anything you can tell us about the charity that people are donating to here?
Sure. Les Petits Rois is an organization that is dedicated to helping out children with different abilities of both inside and outside the autism spectrum. And it is their job to help them out with growing up and the world beyond.
Yeah, so very important. Right? That's we got roughly 90 minutes left to go on the race. So if you've got a fix for it, let's do it. So
Agreed.
just what should we tell? Should we just tell them? Okay, there's going to be a moment. All right, so there's gonna be a brief interruption of this stream, and then it's of the commentary at least, and then it's gonna be fixed. So thanks everybody for bearing with us. It's the first day of the marathon. There's gonna be tech issues.
No problem.
Take me out, man. Yeah, give me 1 second to get that going. I've said it in the race room. Hopefully, yep. They're coming in saying that they're paused, so go for it.